Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back one more time for the final match this week between Heroes and Zeros and Exposed Secrets. Exposed Secrets going to be on the left-hand side, Heroes and Zeros on the right-hand side, and straight ban out the window, Cret, is Loki.
Yeah, Loki going to be taken off the board. They don't want to give that one over to Heroes and Zeros. They don't want to play it themselves. They're just going to get rid of it. And, honestly, does Exposed Secrets really have a Loki player? I mean, I don't think it's really Azalea's kettle of fish. And I don't think it's really Frostiak either. Frostiak really likes the murder characters in the early game, right? The characters that really make stuff happen.
Hmm.
And Loki's early game's a little weak.
Well, Rom being banned out by Heroes and Zeros now, so they don't want to give that one away this time round. Exposed Secrets back to them, and they have the potential of the first pick here. What would you reckon they're going to ban here?
I wouldn't be surprised to see an Athena ban, or a Zhong ban, or an Osiris ban. Would all be very, very good here. It's going to be the Athena, so Osiris and Zhong still available. Probably just going to be Osiris removed, as I don't think you'd want to give that to Frostiak. It does seem like it's right up his alley.
That's true, but if you do that, then Zhong is still going to be on the table, available once again to be picked up. And
Yeah.
if you notice these games we've seen today, Zhonghui's been pretty dominant in them. Let's be honest. I mean, I don't think has he lost. I don't know if he
I
has.
think he's won every game.
I think so too. I want to say that, but I'm not going to
He
be 100%
might have
certain.
lost the DQ, but that's a
Ah,
technicality, and we're not going to count it.
okay. Well, they're going to ban Ram and Aphrodite and leave Osiris available, and Osiris gets picked up by Exposed Secrets, but this does leave Zhong on the table still for Heroes and Zeros. However,
Yeah,
I think Osiris does well against Zhong, let's be honest. That's my personal
he
opinion on
does.
that matchup.
The other thing is that Aphrodite Osiris is absolutely horrifying, and you should never ever let
Oh,
those two
Lord.
that combination through. So
Imagine.
at the very least, taking out half of that, and same with Aphrodite Zhong, to be honest. But it's gonna be Ra and Mercury picked up for Heroes and Zeros. Exposed Secrets likely will pick up the Zhong Kui here, and then the question is, what else do they do? Probably a hunter, maybe getting first priority in that hunter pick, because I don't think there's too much counter picking you really want to do in that role. It's really just,
Sure.
hey Schulte, what do you want?
Artemis.
And it looks like Artemis.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Artemis is probably the strongest after Rom. I think everyone seems to agree on right now. Craze Artemis is fantastic. Other than that, but now it's back over to Heroes and Zeros, and with their option, they're hovering over Geb here. And considering Athena's been banned out, maybe that's the right call.
Yeah, now Geb can be bullied out by Artemis in lane, and it is going to give Heroes and Zeros the high priority support. And I also like the shields onto Mercury, allowing him to carry just a little bit harder. We'll see what happens with that, but counterban should be directed at solo and support. And I wouldn't be surprised to see them ban out another support and push Dazer onto something really niche. Especially, they definitely don't need to ban out Sobek, because Sobek has a horrible matchup against Geb, so maybe banning out something like Kumba?
And like Kumba could be a possibility. It's going to be Hobwa actually taken away. So no
Sure.
Spleesh today. For the whole of today, we've not seen a single Spleesh.
He's been banned every game, hasn't he?
No Spleesh boys today, boys and girls, unfortunately for you. But Exposed Secrets back to them now. Going to be... I was surprised, actually. Let's talk about the Hobwa one more time, Craig, because even when he hasn't been banned, he's not been prioritized and actually been taken out counterban, which is kind of unusual for how strong he actually is.
I think nobody wants to play against it, but they also don't want to play it. Nobody wants to see Habla. That's what it's going to come into. They're going to ban out the AD carries. So they're like, okay, Vastrical likes on her. He likes it against Artemis. We're not going to deal with that. Force him onto Apollo, maybe. Probably Apollo, maybe Ullr. I don't know if he'll really play it. Maybe Cupid. They'd probably be happy to see that one.
I like the Anher ban because it's good against Artemis, and it's also good against Osiris for the knockback, and it's good against Zhong Kui because of the knockback again. The Impale can actually help him out in a lot of situations against this team that want to collapse on him overall. So I'm not too upset by that Anher ban. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Well, it is going to be Chalk picked up, so the Hunter's going to be last picked, and they're really going to be able to counterpick that and intelligently choose which Hunter of those remaining they want. Chalk is going to be in that solo lane more than likely, and we'll see how he matches up against whatever Exposed Secrets decide to choose. We're going to see Ymir again. It's going to be Vamana versus Chalk, so it's going to be that bruiser matchup, and we're just going to see Zalia and Arn King slap each other for forever.
Forever indeed, but Ymir is like the rising star, it seems.
Yeah.
Overall. We saw him yesterday, we played a couple of times. We've seen him today, played by multiple teams as well. Now, with I'm Dazer picking that one up for his team, probably going to be going over to the support shadow to the support over there as well. So going to be interesting to see what they do. I believe I'm Daisy going to be taking that in support actually. But now it's back to Heroes and Zeros. They have, by the looks of it, a Hunter left to pick. It's only really Apollo underneath. Uh-oh. They're the three.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't
Unlikely
expect to see
others. Well, we saw Cupid earlier. Technically, we did see Cupid for a second.
Shibalanke maybe? Amos and Cobb? But I just feel like their niche isn't strong. Okay, Kronos.
Oh.
All right, yeah. So Kronos is going to be fulfilling the role of the hunter. His lane killer is going to be a little bit weak, but it sort of matches Artemis in that they're sort of clearing with circle abilities, and it's not necessarily as strong as line nukes like you would see from a traditional hunter, but it will still clear the wave. In terms of dueling, Kronos actually has a pretty nice matchup up against the Artemis because she drops the board, you just rewind, and you're like, all right, free Tusky.
Yep.
As long as you don't get ganked. And when it comes to just straight up boxing, because Artemis has a built-in Fatalis, he can be very hard to play against.
That's true. I mean, one thing I don't mind about the Kronos pick here in the Hunter role is the fact they've got Mercury in the jungle. You know, that hyper AD carry late game as well, so you can take down the towers, and so you're going to double threat them, so to speak, with the Freya there. So with the Kronos picked up, very similar to what a Freya can do at late game stages as well. So exposed secrets, just looking good.
The other thing about Kronos that people don't understand is he's actually really good at killing towers because mages are calibrated to hit towers for a decent amount, and Kronos is calibrated to hit with magic damage projectiles for more than other mages. So it actually just kind of like double dips into this favorable situation for mages, and he kills towers really, really quickly.
Well, guys, we're going to go into this last game, Exposed Secrets versus Heroes and Zeros. Heroes and Zeros don't want to go 0-3, I'm pretty sure, and Exposed Secrets would love to end 2-1 in this group stages at the start of this. So, guys, we'll be right back as soon as these guys have loaded in. Welcome back, everybody, to the final game of today between Exposed Secrets and Heroes and Zeros. Exposed Secrets, if they win this, they will take second place in this round-robin stage. If Heroes and Zeros win, we're going to have a three-way tie for second, with only Walk It Off coming out on top after week one of these round-robin play-ins. And Exposed Secrets looking for an early invasion. I'm Dazer playing that Ymir, leading the troops forward with Shadow Nightmare on behind him with Jean-Qui, Osiris on Frostiak being played there as well, Zalia on Vermont, and finally in the back end of that, we're going to see Sloozy playing Artemis as well. And what have we got from Heroes?
Well, Heroes and Zeros have a Geb played by Mugiwawa in that support role. Vastrikal will be playing Hunter, Kronos, Arn King on solo lane Shock, Enigma on mid lane Raw, and in the jungle it's going to be Darzer on Mercury. You know, I miss the days of the level 1 picks and fights. They were so interesting, but it seems like right now you just never ever get close enough to anyone.
I think it's more to do with the fact that people are aware of whether they've got a good level 1 or a bad level 1. And the team that has the bad level 1 isn't generally stupid enough to fall for the trap of fighting. So they all back away, play safe, and not get caught out of position. And, you know, wait for the early rotations, the early attempt at an early gank to fade away before placing their wards out themselves.
Well, you know, the other thing to mention is 5-man invades people have sort of discovered are actually horribly inefficient. So even when you have that good level 1, you can't really force it. Because if you go into their jungle with 5, you're not going to get a good trade. And if you go in with lefts, well, you're not fully flexing your muscles, and you can get outnumbered or just taken down 3-on-3 or 2-on-2. Either way, though, we are going to have Schultze and Dazer head over to the left-hand side. They were able to steal away the mid camps.
He stole one of those well, between the two, so it's going to make him level 2 at the same time as Kronos, which is pretty good overall, honestly, especially with the minion wave coming in now. Right-hand side, Frostiak going for a bit of aggression there, just going to farm out the mid-wave overall. Dazer's going to watch him. Sorry, Darza's going to watch himself a little bit. It's going to be hard with Darza and Dazer on the same team. I might just have to resort to Mercury and Ymir for this game between those two, otherwise the confusion will continue.
Either way, this only matchup is two sort of heavy farm characters coming out that...
okay.
Yeah, just a little bit of lag from Arn King there. But,
I thought he did lag out for a second then. I was like, at least the respect coming out from Exposed Secrets. There's no pauses, guys. It's okay. We're all right for the moment. The game will continue. Don't worry.
Yeah, but definitely having some issues there. And, you know, this matchup between Chalk and Vamana is just kind of like, all right, let's both farm up because we can't kill each other. And then late game, one of us is going to be stronger. But Zalia is going the more aggressive build. So Arn King, with that Smithy's Hammer, he might not die, but he might get outpushed. Zalia... there's a chance he could fall, but he's going to be pushing harder and become relevant sooner.
Well, left-hand side pushing in from Exposed Secrets once again, but Vastrikal should be able to clear that one out pretty effectively overall. He'll lose a couple of creeps to the tower in terms of gold, but he'll soak up the experience. And now we see Ymir rotating around towards the red buff once again, trying to see if that one's available, knowing Mercury is rotating around there right now. As Frostiak has got mid lane to soak up some experience, maybe they're going to go for an invade on this red buff here. It looks like they are.
Yeah, and this is going to be 4 players on the left-hand side of the jungle. Frostiak's going to pull the buff. We'll see what Hand of the Gods are available and if they can just kind of hog this one away, or is Darcer going to be able to try and do something, roll out for Mugiwara, goes in with a special delivery, but who's going to be the called target? Mugi and Darcer. Darcer's going to be very, very low, and very well could be the first blood. That Stone Shield is not going to be enough. Shadow Nightmare able to get it, but a really nice time spot. Frostiak is going to get low, but Shadow Nightmare, he's hit level 5, and Mugiwara will be chased down by the slowest ghost, but fast enough to find the kill.
Fast enough to find the kill, 2-1. That trade, and the red buff also went over to Shadow Nightmare for that one, so still a little bit more away. And both those kills go into Shadow Nightmare on that Zhong Kui mid lane crit. Spells trouble for Heroes and Zeros early on.
Yeah, it really is going to be trouble for our heroes in this game. That said, it was a 2-1 trade, so could have been worse for sure. But they definitely didn't come out on top, especially with both kills going to Shadow Nightmare. Zhong Kui is scary, and he's been doing very well today. Fed Zhong Kui is even more terrifying, and honestly, I'm not sure Heroes and Zeros is properly equipped to deal with this.
The left camp goes over to Expose Secrets. It looks like the whole team want to rotate around for the right one. Daz is going to watch himself. He's going to go with a special delivery. He doesn't realize there's people behind him. The wall, the Lord of the Afterlife doesn't connect, but they're going to slow him down. Daza drops again. And now they're going to be able to either pressure mid or just take the right end experience camp, which is expect the more choice opposition. Daza just wasn't aware of that rotation there.
Yeah, and that's going to be a big problem because now sitting down roughly 2,000 gold and roughly 3,000 experience, this is going to be a very, very tough game for Heroes and Zeros to come back from at the 4-minute mark. The only thing that could have gone worse would have been early Gold Fury Force from Exposed Secrets, and honestly, it's not out of the question with such a strong Zhong Kui.
Well, speed finally being taken by Frostiak for himself now. Now that the buffs have worn down, red buff going to come back online once again for Shadow Nightmare to take for his team as well. So Exposed Secrets sat in a decent position right about now. We can see as well that Artemis has been back to base once, working towards the Devourer Gauntlets. On the other side of things, Kronos still sat on what he started with, which is that Soul Reliquary and the Magic Shoes. He's only upgraded that to rank 2 for the time being after having to go back early.
That said, Vastrikal does have a distinct advantage in that it's definitely difficult to gauge the power spikes between these two characters. You know, like when you're an Artemis player, how do you know when you're stronger than Kronos aside from simply being higher level than him? And even then, you know, but when you're a hunter versus hunter, if you're like, okay, our builds are different, but I've hit my rage before he had, so I'm stronger, that's obvious. Vastrikal, we should assume, is going to know these differences more than the Artemis player, as he's probably more familiar with this matchup, but he could be caught out very shortly. Dazer is going to find the stun. Rewind. No, he's not. Rewind isn't a good time, but he's not in the best spot, and with the boar coming out, Vastrikal is going to be very, very low, but Tusky doesn't quite do enough, and Vastrikal will be able to retreat under his tower. That said, blue buff is going to go
Tusky
down.
knew the game
That's
plan.
really what Exposed came for.
Tusky knew the game plan. He went straight for the blue buff. He understood exactly what Artemis wanted there, which was that blue buff. Stealing that one away, going to deny, but now Daz is here on this Mercury. Challenge the Sonic Boom. Will he be able to turn something around? Sonic Boom gets walled again! These walls, Mercury is just forced out. There's a Frost as well. Daz in a lot of trouble. Going to go down one more time. And that turnaround. We just see that Sonic Boom is not a good thing against the Ymir. That's what we've learned today.
That's 4 times today. One of those didn't actually wall the Sonic Boom, but it kept the Mercury in a really bad spot after it, so we'll count that one. Ymir has just been doing really, really well today, and I guess Ymir's going to becoming a really, really strong factor in the coming weeks. We'll definitely see if it's pulled out in the North American Regional LAN next weekend.
If we see a Mercury, I expect to see a Ymir. That's the game plan going forward. It just seems that is the permanent counter now, as nobody can seem to deal with. But Frostiak looking for Vastrikal, who's got no money. He's going to miss the Lord of the Afterlife, but the tether's applied. He's got no money to escape. The shield's going to buy him a little bit of time, but he's not going to prevent the storm. That's the problem. But Frostiak going so deep here, he's taking up so much of the tower. Only Ymir's following up as Ymir got the damage, but the auto attack might clean him up. Daz actually, though, with the backside, cleans up Frostiak. That's important for him. Can he find Shadow Nightmare too? Bit risky it is, after all, as Zhong Kui. Dazer gets out alive, but Frostiak trades 1 for 1. I'm not sure whether that was worthwhile.
It really was not, and a big part of it was he missed a spirit flail there, and a few auto attacks. Honestly, that kill could have gotten so much more efficiently. And when you're diving a tower, especially before the 10-minute mark, you have to make sure you hit absolutely everything. Even if you don't have an escape pan, Snipe comes through.
Nice.
It is going to take the Harpies away from Dazer. Almost killed him as well. It's a great use of wards, and Mercury might want this kill. Dazer's gonna run from Darzer though.
I don't think Nightmare knows about this just yet.
Oh wait, Mercury.
Oh, really? Is he gonna find him? Is Yumeir gonna really get caught?
Very close.
Not gonna find the major look there for the time being. But now they know where he is, and Shadow Nightmare gonna rotate on him again. A lot of damage just from an exorcism to the face there as mid camp's right inside. Frosty executes him with the hog. Is he gonna look to chase onto more? He is. He's gonna land the scythe, and there's a tether, and he's in the healing circle as Enigma. So straight away, Frosty backs out for now. Still 5-2. Exposed Secrets in a good position as Artemis trades once again with Kronos 2v1.
Artemis is currently 2 levels up on her lane opponent, which is really, really good. Now, they are both late game hyper carries of a bit of a different flair. Artemis just straight up does a lot of damage, and Tusky can sometimes keep her alive if he's having a good day or if she's fed him enough and, you know, if he's in a good mood.
Yeah.
Kronos is just kind of like a cleanup crew. He's very hard to lock down. He does pretty decent damage, but hold that thought. Mercury's charging a Sonic Boom down lane. Blink in. It's going to be the Mercury counter gank, but burst it down before the rewind.
The ball
doing so much. Stuns out 3.
And now they're going to try and disengage because I don't think Darza can continue the aggression. That was a 3v2 in the end. They didn't know Darza was there, but Darza couldn't make a play with the ball coming out. Big from Artemis there. And another great pickup, and unfortunately for Darza, couldn't find anything for himself.
Yeah, he really just couldn't find it, and now it's very likely could be a gold fear. I mean, Dazer's in the area. I guess he's just going to ward, doesn't want to do that one. But Ra just recalled, so they totally could have. Oh, super unfortunate for Exposed Secrets there. But either way, it's not gold they need, it's just gold that they'd like to have. They're sitting up 3,000 gold, 4,000 experience, in a very, very good spot in this game. Artemis, of course, is 2-0-3. Nearly complete kill participation there on an Artemis.
That's scary. I mean, 2-0-3 on Artemis. She's lowest gold on her team as well, which says a lot about how this game's going. The fact that she's 2-0-3, involved in 5 of the 6 kills, and yet still lowest gold just shows how well Exposed Secrets are playing right now. The rotations around the map, they're looking to find a pick for the gold fuel. That's what it looks like right now, Kret. Maybe they'll just try and risk it and go for it straight away, but there's a ward seeing them out. They're going to try and force it.
Ymir's passive, I believe it's Winter's Bite, allows him to do absolutely incredible damage to stationary objectives like this. With his ultimate, he can burst it down and be CC immune, but the gold period will reset, and instead we're just going to see a fight. Mugiwawa's in a really bad spot, going to get stunned out by the Judgment Tether, but a time stop could turn this around. Mugi now will be turned on, and he will certainly die. Sonic Boom comes through, though, and Schultzy, once again, Tusky protects his master, and Darzer's not going to be able to get out of there.
Was amazing.
Secured by Frostiak.
Actually manages to land it. Now Frezzy going to channel the ultimate, trying to delay Arnking coming in there on this check. Good wall, they're still going for Enigma, not going to find it as Vastrical does take out take out Dazer on that Ymir. And now Arnking in a bit of trouble. He's in the healing circle though. He's going to sustain it for a long time. Zalia's not even joined the fight. He's still split pushing. And Gold Fury stands. But it was a 2-for-1 shot. Oh no, I'm lying. Shadow Nightmare stayed too long. Vastrical cleans him up and makes it a 2-for-2. But they're going to lose tier 1 tower.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good play from Zalia, because once again 2-for-2, but you have someone split pushing and farming, so even though a straight up 2-for-2 for Exposed Secrets would be a bad trade because they're worth more gold, with the farm it probably is in their favor, if only slightly. And you know, it means Zalia's in a really good spot. He's top farm on his team on the Vamana. Now with the Warriors having done working on that Fatalis, and Darzer's going to take a ton of damage from the Armored Umbrella. Zalia actually might want this fight if it weren't for the fact that he doesn't have any backup.
He's actually going to try and take baby form. I thought he was going to go mid-camps then overall. Oh, going to get hit by the snipe. He's going to watch himself now. He needs to regen quickly. Luckily, Arnking does not have an axe to throw right there. Otherwise, he could have been in a bit of pain, but going to regen a little bit. Probably have to go back to base now. Mid-camps do go over to heroes and zeros there, so small victory overall as it stands. 11 minutes in, Gold Fury still stands. Wall being cleared out by Darza there. Sorry, by Dazer there. Goodness me, Borg get popped though. Geb's in trouble.
Yeah, Geb's going to be in a lot of trouble here. The Boar is going to also interrupt Vaster Call, and Mugiwawa gets taken down once again. Darzer needs to use special delivery to get out. Nice stun onto Schultzy, but Vaster Call will die after Lord of the Afterlife uses the ability that has his name with the Judgment Tether. I don't see a way out of this. And while the jukes were really good, Frostiak in the end will be able to get that kill.
Frostiak will now on the backside.
Schultzy.
He's in trouble. He's going to try and use the trap to keep himself alive, and he does do something. The exorcism from Shadow Nightmare helps him out a ton. Red buff is spawning, but it looks like they're going to go for Gold Fury. Enigma does not have the snipe available. He just used it during that engagement, and Arn King is here, though. Can he delay them? That's the question, but Zalia's here as well. Shadow Nightmare pops the ghost. He's trying to keep Arn King busy. Gold Fury goes to expose secrets. Is Arn King going to go down too? He's going to have to use the ult with the snipe, but the backside helps secure Frostiak, and he jumps back to his axe to get away. Nice play, but overall, Gold Fury still goes to expose secrets. So it's a win for them, even with this tier 1 tower in mid possibly going down too.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice play, and yeah, it wasn't a 1,500 gold Fury. It was a 1,200 gold Fury. It was still pretty good, but hold that thought as Darzer goes in. Muguawa once again very low, will get taken down, and Dazer's going to fall as well, but Schulte finds a kill. Vasterkal not able to rewind, and that is going to be a 3-for-1 at the end of that engagement. After a tower goes down, Exposed Secrets is looking so strong right now.
I like the idea that Heroes and Zeros did there, though. They tried to, after that engagement, they tried to continue it. That's why you saw Geb go in, because they knew Mercury was going to come straight down the line with the Sonic Boom and Vasterkal alongside him. Didn't have enough damage to bring them down, though, and they just focused the target so well there, Krat, that it just didn't pay off for them. Still lost the tower, lost a couple more kills for it. Didn't pay off, and Exposed Secrets, with that Gold Fury in tow, have developed a nearly 6,000 gold lead and 8,000 experience lead right now.
And you know what? Zalia is not going to be going into a Fatalis. It's going to be a Witchblade this game. So first of all, he wants to be able to trade better with his lane opponent. It's going to slightly reduce the damage of Chronos, not by protections or by reducing his physical power, but it will reduce his attack speed, which is fairly nice. And it's going to also help up against Mercury. So Zalia building a little bit more tanky as he feels like Frosty and Schulte can do the damage that he needs. And speaking of damage, a big invade on the left hand of the jungle. They're going to try and do some damage to the economy of Heroes and Zeros. Bees use great stun through the wall. Vasterkal will rewind to a good spot. He's going to be okay, but Mugiwawa once again taking a lot of damage.
And yeah, and looking to siege this left-hand tower. Look at Frostiak, though, with the tether on Darza. That's going to stun him out, more than likely. Not, though, because he forces out the beat. Sonic Boom charge. Who's he going to try and follow up on? But now you see Shadow Nightmare and the Artemis as well swinging around to support. They really want this last tier 1 tower. I love the objective focus from Exposed Secrets here. They're just swinging around the map, using their advantage to try and continue the gold lead.
That said, they don't particularly have good sustain, so this could be a little bit risky, and all of Heroes and Zeros are here ready to contest. Zalia is farming on the right side of the map, and you know, what's the call really here? And it looks like they just want to back out. They're like, all right, we force 5 over, Zalia's going to get some farm, and that works out just fine for us, as it means it's time where Exposed Secrets is farming and Heroes and Zeros isn't. And Zalia is certainly a character that's going to be stronger in the later stages of the game with his next item. Once that's finished, which, depending on his gold per minute, so maybe 6 minutes with 450 gold per minute is going to be a big spike.
Big spike indeed. Now you can see Heroes and Zeros grouping as a 3-man around the mid. Nothing really available to right now. But Frostiak actually going to find Enigma, who rotated to middle lane alone. Sonic Boom channel going to land onto Frostiak. The focus is onto him. Will they be able to bring him down in time? Lord of the Afterlife popped to escape. Zalia, though, continued the chase in Enigma. Enigma's going to get his juke boots on and dodge these autos as a baseball bat slams down. And Zalia should be able to just walk away as if nothing even bothers him. After that one, a turnaround pickup once again from Exposed Secrets develops an opportunity in mid.
Yeah, and Frostiak just barely able to get out of that one. Dazer looking for that freeze, but wasn't able to find it. And honestly, part of the problem with Ymir in this specific game is when he freezes someone that isn't Geb, it's probably just going to get cleansed, unless he gets a really nice 2 or 3-man freeze, which of course is generally what you're looking for on Ymir. But Frostiak's very, very strong right now, and I love the decision to go into a warded shield. He's got the chin size done. He's got some extra magic protection. Probably not going to be an Ancile, as I don't think he'd really be looking to stack it. But it certainly could be. And now, yeah, looking for some damage on the mid lane. Darzer is going to die.
He's gonna die to the card. The Cataclysm going to come out a little bit too late there. He wouldn't have saved him anyway. Dazer takes a little bit of poke to the tower, but he's Ymir after all, so not a big problem. Another little nice pickup coming out from Exposed Secrets. Vasterkal rotating mid, trying to chase onto something. Not going to find anything. Meanwhile, though, Artemis being allowed to free farm in this duo lane right now and just continue to push this one in.
I mean, the problem for Heroes and Zeros is not only is Exposed Secrets doing a really good job of fighting against them, but they're constantly having either Vamana or Artemis in free farm, and both characters are so strong in the late game that just isn't really something you want to let have happen. Frostiak's going to be doing with Arn King in the right jungle, not doing tremendous damage to him as a very tanky chalk with the Rune Force Hammer, but still will carve through him faster than pretty much anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, with that chin sonic boom going to miss, they were looking for the gushing load of the afterlife in. Frostiak misses again. I think he's only landed 1 out of the 5 I've seen him throw so far. Or 6 even, actually. But he did waste the sonic boom in response to that. Arnking going to survive for now. And like you said, you know, talking about this Artemis, she's freezing the lane to an extent in this left-hand side. And making sure that Vastrakel on this Kronos can't get much farm. Now he's trying to fight in mid lane against Shadow Nightmare, who lands a nice stun. And with Dazer rotating in, he could be in a bit of trouble. There's a big wall, there's a frost breath, there's a shield, there's the rewind having to be forced out. But what's positioning going to put him in as the ghosts explode? The exorcism exposed too, but he's trading good on Enigma with a snipe. Makes it worthwhile, and now Daze is going in too deep. He could get caught out by the knockup.
Oh, but Frostiak's coming in. Can he turn this around? Doesn't have Lord of the Afterlife, but the Spirit Flail. Maybe he can make this happen. Enigma does have the double, and Frostiak isn't going to be able to find the damage. He actually could get caught here, or maybe he could bait out for the remaining 2 members of his team, and that's exactly what he did, but it's not for the fight. It's for the Gold Fury, which will go to Schulte, and now Azalea is going to show up, trying to secure
I'm not sure
a kill. And actually, Schulte, they want a 2v5, and I think they might be able to. They're very, very far ahead. Vastrakel is going to get low, and he will go down to Azalea, clear the path down to the big baby form. Next target has to be Enigma, and Azalea is going to stomp all over him. Enigma is going to back out, but Azalea doesn't find the autos, and that's going to actually result in Schulte dying. It will end up being a fairly decent trade for Exposed Secrets, being they gave up 3, they got 2 and a Gold Fury. And here's a show up there like, ah.
Man, that's what Artemis was doing all that time. That's why she was late in the rotation. So overall, you can see now the gold lead is 7.8k in favor of Exposed Secrets. Experience lead of 11,000 right now. And considering that was, you know, that was only Vermana and Artemis fighting 5 members, they picked up 2 kills, so they traded 2 for 1 in a 5v2.
Right. But overall, it was 4 kills going away, and with the Gold Fury included, it actually just made an even trade for Exposed Secrets. So
I love the Witchblade.
Unfortunate.
I love the Witchblade pickup on Zalia. As one of his first items as well. It's like it gives him the physical protection to deal with Chuck, but it also is going to lower the amount of damage Kronos can put out in this fight, and the Mercury as well. You know, it's a good item overall, and it's a great situational pick by Zalia. I love it.
Yeah, it also gives him the ability to stick on targets with that extra 15% movement speed. That's nearly Boots. That's 3% less than Boots, which is crazy. And now going into a Rage and having that sprint on deck, I mean, I think Zalia is really going to be able to stick to his targets. That said, in multiple fights, he has been missing auto attacks on Enigma, and it has cost him a little bit.
Oh, now Frostiak going aggressive again. Frostiak just fighting all day long, and Arnking going to get chased down. This Tether's going to connect with the stun now, and Arnking just trying to walk away, use that rain to just continue healing himself up. Has to use his ultimate now. They're trying to turn it around, and Frostiak, who's in too deep. Lord of the Afterlife's not going to stop the tower shot, though, as he jumps away. And so it's a free kill overall. 4 heroes and zeros, and can they turn something around here? Well, at the moment, Kronos is split pushing. He needs to get some farm going, because he's still only level 15.
Right, but they realize Kronos doesn't have a global rotation. They're like, alright, it's 4v4. We still got our ultimates up. We can actually fight this, because only 3 ultimates from Heroes and Zeros are available. They did use Storm Call. We'll see what does end up happening. Heroes and Zeros is positioned outside the Gold Fury. They're charging up Sonic Boom. Dave's going to drop the wall. That's going to create some room. Zalia is big.
This is close.
Fire Giant is going to go to Exposed Secrets. Now they're looking to turn the fight. Mugiwawa very low, but so is Shadow Nightmare. And Dave Starzer is just barely not going to get the kill, but Shadow Nightmare is going to be able to get out and back away. And Master Call only finds a single tower. Might get the second one here, might not.
I think he will just have enough damage to bring it down. He's got the minion wave there. He will bring it down to tier 2, but a Fire Giant for 3 kills? 3 kills and a Fire Giant for 2 towers. I'm okay if I'm Exposed Secrets in that position. They're in a strong commanding position right now, Kret, and that fight goes to show how strong they really are and how far ahead they are.
Yeah. That said, Frostiak needs to realize that there's absolutely no point in him even remotely fighting Chalk, because with the slow, with the self-heal, with the Witchblade, and with the Smithy or the Runeforged Hammer, that Chalk just isn't gonna die. The only way he could be a harder target for Frostiak would be if he had a Midgardian male, right?
Well, now they're going to charge up middle lane in their Exposed Secrets. 4 members of half the team have the Fire Giant, just going to send Frostiak off. And now you see the wall going down, trying to zone them out. In the most part, Mugiwawa taking a bit of poke, but not a lot. As King is now there on the front line, trying to force them back, and with Enigma's heals, they should be able to hold for now. But Frostiak still split pushing, going to walk into Vastrakel on this left-hand side, and he's dueling with them for the most part. But I don't think this is a good fight for Frostiak, because he's not going to have the mitigation that he would if he was fighting a physical, because obviously Kronos magical doesn't provide help with his passive.
That's true, and he also doesn't really have the sustain, but nonetheless he's going to try it, and if he plays it right, can probably kill Vesterkal, but in the middle lane, Mugiwara is going to get stunned out. Wall is going to block off Darzer for now, and that's going to be the Ymir ultimate. Enigma will fall. Azalea is going to look for a second kill. Schultz is going to get it onto Arn King, and now Darzer needs to run. Big crit from Azalea, and Mugiwara is stuck in a horrible spot. We'll drop the Cataclysm, but it shouldn't come out at that point in the fight, and in the end, it's 3-0. Vesterkal returns to base. He wasn't low on health, but he realized he needed to help and he needed to try and defend this Phoenix. It is possible, but it's probably not going to happen.
But they're going to lose tier 2 on the left-hand side because Frostyak's been allowed to farm, and now they're going aggressive in middle. Daze is getting very low, dived the tower, and got paid with his life as Rastukov picks up a kill. They're trying to bring down the Phoenix here. It is Artemis after all, and she's got ridiculous damage along with Zalia. They take the Phoenix, rotate to left lane, get the tier 2 tower. They can continue for the last Phoenix.
Yeah, they're likely going to be able to get it here once they meet back up with Frostiak. Next respawn, Mugiwara is up, Enigma respawns Arn King, so actually this probably isn't going to end too well once they realize that the entire enemy team is alive. They just have, instead they're probably just going to retreat and take the Gold Fury. About 2 minutes, maybe 1.5 remain on this Fire Giant, and actually it seems Exposed Secrets is laying in wait. VVVA set up an ambush here, and they found Mugiwara, but he came in at the wrong angle and will not properly be ambushed.
Not going to get ambushed for now, but now they're going to retreat to Gold Fury. Like you said, the ambush did fail, but it's fine. They're still going to get to Gold Fury. Do Heroes and Zeros contest here? Is this the right call that they need to make right now? It doesn't look like they're going to do that, though, crap. They're going to just back, play safe, farm up the lanes, and try and catch up in experience, because the deficit is 15,000 right now. That's a big deficit in terms of experience at 23 minutes in.
Yeah, it really is, and you know, when you look at the damage dealers, Darzer once again on Mercury has been shut down. He's very far behind. It has been able to make things happen. Vesterkal at level 18 doing pretty well, but how powerful is he at this point in the game, having 229 magic power plus that Thoth passive, which is going to be roughly an extra 60 or 70, so mid 350s, but he doesn't really have any pen. And so he's not really going to be able to carve through the very tanky front line that is Ymir, and then Vamana, and then Zhonghui, and we can include Osiris too.
It's a very tanky lineup that Exposed Secrets are put on the table, and when you've got an Artemis backing that one up as well, it's a tough order, especially when you are this far behind right now. With the Phoenix down in middle lane, you can see Zhonghui just pushing up the right hand side. They're going to look to try and take down this tier 2 tower while they wait for the Fire Giant to respawn, allowing the rest of the team to just deal with the fire minions that are pouring down middle lane right now. Celestial Beam hits onto Artemis, but not too much damage. You'll be able to soak that back up with the Devourer's Gauntlet, going to sustain himself back up, and now the siege for the tier 2 tower commences. The teams are getting in position. If they're going to fight, they need to fight now, I feel, just before the Fire Giant. Are they just going to give this one up and fight the Fire Giant? I think that's going to be the call.
Yeah, it looks like they're looking to take the next fight, not this one. Mid lane could be pushed out maybe a little bit farther. The ambush. So going to kill this wave. But yeah, once again, lying in wait is Exposed Secrets. Is Mugiwara going to take it? Will they ward first? That's the question. Face check or ward. Mugiwara is going to get spotted out here.
It's
and they're going in.
It's a trap, and now you're going to see the tether come out. The wall's going to body block him off. The tether's not going to connect as the immunity comes out from roll out. Now they're going to back off again. Are they going to go for another Admiral Akbar special, or are they just going to rush the Fire Giant? Will he spawn in a few seconds? It is flashing already. Admiral Akbar has been called upon once more. It's a trap. Who's going to walk around and find it? Shadow Nightmare's going to find Darza. The Frost Breath onto him. He has to use the beads and the special delivery to get away. But meanwhile, Geb's the focus, and he gets cataclysmed. And meanwhile, Artemis does take out Darza on the backside. And now Geb's going to fall too. There's a Zalia on the front line, going to chunk down the big baby form. And now with the rewind used by Vesterkal, he's going to have to make a big play overall, but getting zoned by the whole team, he's going to have to sprint and run away. Zalia's not having any of it, though. He's going to chase down for the Dia side. Can he bring him up? That's the question.
And there it is, 374 crit. Seemingly overkill, but it's just enough to win the game. It is important to note that Schultz did get taken down by Vesterkal there, but it wasn't enough. And it looks like they're going to go for the Fire Giant in this situation. They're like, alright, we're missing our AD carry, so I don't think we can take the Phoenix as necessary. Mid-Phoenix will die to minions, most likely. Actually, almost guaranteed, unless Darzer can somehow defend it. And instead, let's just take the Fire Giant. Not going to hold it for Schultz, and we'll just do it with the next push.
They're going to go back to base, buy up items. Frosty are just going to take the blue buff down before they all retreat back to base, buy the final purchases, as you said, wait for Artemis to get back online. 29 to 13. Expose Secrets in a good position here, Cret. Although the Phoenix has respawned in mid lane for Heroes and Zeros. No, it hasn't. It just dropped down again to the last fire minion, breathing down the neck. And that means the Exposed Secrets are in a great position right now. And Heroes and Zeros, they have to have a big fight go in their favor, but they're so far behind.
Yeah, they really are. That said, Exposed Secrets, they're not picking up their red, and they really should pick up their red. It's such an important buff at this point in the game. Shadow Nightmare doesn't necessarily have that much magic power, and honestly, none of their mages really do, so perhaps that's a little bit of a weakness. Well, they actually only have Shadow Nightmare as a mage, so that might be a little bit of weakness in their lineup, but red would just still be so helpful, even onto Zalia with his relatively high 160 physical power, plus his passive, so really shocking to not see that happen.
A core left hand side, and you can see Daze has been a bit of a troll with his walls right now against his own team. They're going to push down for the Phoenix on the left hand side, and this is the last stand for Heroes and Zeros. Can they manage to pull this one back into their favor? They're against a Fire Giant team which is on 4 members, that Fire Giant buff right now. The last minion wave spawns before the minions pour in. Daze is already tanking up the tower, waiting for his team to lead in. Here we go. Here's the aggression Cataclysm lands on a couple, but on the backside, On King's doing work onto Artemis, but the boars pop to delay him, and now they turn the attention back on. Weakening Curse was popped as well. They're tanking up a Storm, but now we're going to see Darza use the Sonic Boom through the back and pick up Artemis. Heroes not doing too bad, but Exposed Secrets are so tanky, Cret.
Yeah, they're just diving in with the big baby. Mugiwara, caught out by the wall, will be trapped in a corner and taken down. Now only 2 members remain from Heroes and Zeros up against 4. The question is, will they go on the Titan? Will they be able to end the game here? And Recall Demons popped at the end of the fight, forcing Heroes and Zeros back in the fountain, not quite bursting them, but keeping them low. And in the end, the Titan's going to drop to about 25%, even lower, looking to end the game, and it's going to be Exposed Secrets. They're able to get the 2-1, and they're going to be able to move on, looking really good in the SPL play-in.
So 2 weeks time, guys, we'll see the conclusion of these play-ins, especially in EU and in NA. And in EU right now, as it stands after today, we're going to find out that Walk It Off are going to go 3-0 in these stages of round robin week 1, followed by Exposed Secrets, who are going to finish 2-1. Agilitas going to finish 1-2, and bottom of the table, Heroes and Zeros going to finish 0-3. And they're going into the next week. That technically means that if Walk It Off win one more great game, Cret, they should be in a good position to pass on through.
Yeah, they should be guaranteed to pass on through. It's possible to have a 3-way tie for second place, I believe, still. But they're in a really good spot. That's really all they need to do. And you know what's also interesting is that this does mirror North America.
That's right.
With Chunks being 3-0 in second place, 5 Angry Men 2-1 in third place, Late Bloomers 1-2, and in last place, Torch 0-3. So both regions pretty much doing the same thing, and we've had some really good games over the past 2 days.
We really have. And that's the end of today's broadcast, guys. However, don't forget, next weekend is the North American Regional LAN. It's going to see Cognitive and Dignitas, Cog, Red, and Snipe all competing over there. And we'll see how those boys can put it on and if they can turn it on as much as the EU LAN did as well. I'm looking forward to that one overall. But from everybody here, I mean, from myself, from Cret, from production, and everybody at hi-rez, I hope you've all enjoyed yourselves today. And we'll see you all with some more Smite action in the coming days.